I will fight anyone who says that they have the best listeners to their podcast, because everyone knows Critical Hit listeners are the most awesome. How do I know? Because last week on the show, I had said I've got a friend's daughter who's really wanting to build a Percy Jackson RPG adventure, and she was going to probably use Dungeons & Dragons, but didn't know if there was another system, and I had suggested a few ideas, and then I asked you guys to submit ideas as to what system she should be using to play a Percy Jackson-based game, and you guys flooded my inbox with answers, and that's how I know that you're awesome. Here's a couple of them from Brandon. I would strongly recommend Scion. I think that's Scion. From White Wolf, now Onyx Publishing, I believe, at Drive-Thru RPG. Scion is based on being descended from deities already. It's a fairly easy-to-learn point-based system. If they wanted to stick with D20s, Rifts is a good choice, but due to the crunchy rules and the age group playing, I'd recommend holding off on this one for a while. They haven't expanded on Scion for a while. I don't know. And quite a bit, and I'd start with the hero book. Thank you for that, Brandon. Here's another one from Eric, who says, I don't have a suggestion other than Fate for the ease of a new player, but I have a suggestion/warning. She should not rely on the books and for her game, and Eric is meaning the Percy Jackson books. She needs to make her own. When I was DMing at her age, I did similar things, but would often get frustrated that the players weren't following the book's storyline, or that they wanted to disrupt the main character's journey in the books. She needs to know that players will always do unexpected things. Sometimes you'll like it, sometimes you won't, so be flexible. Remember that this isn't Percy Jackson's story. This isn't even fully her story. It's the group's story. And I would respond to that saying, yes, that's maybe one thing I didn't mention. It's set in the Percy Jackson universe, and these kids are going to the Percy Jackson school in the woods thing, but it's not. The players are not playing Percy Jackson and his friends. This is just set in the world of Percy Jackson. But Fate seems to be a popular one. A lot of people had suggested the Fate system. Thomas has a suggestion for one. In response to the question you asked on Critical Hit about the person wanting to run an RPG campaign based on Percy Jackson, I at first thought Fate would be a good system, but then I remembered GURPS. It's a great system for mixing up genres and has rules that cover just about everything. And then he sent me some of the links to GURPS, and even sent one that said, here's a supplement for playing in ancient Greece. Thank you, Thomas from Missouri. That's a great suggestion. And finally, Chester says, I just listened to your question in the last podcast. I can think of a couple of answers. First is the Paizo Pathfinder RPG with the Mythic Adventure book added to the core rules. Nice thing for gamers on a budget is that you can get many of the books in PDF format from their online store for about $10 each. And I would agree, Pathfinder is really good. That's what we're playing now. And yes, the price is really good at $10 each. The other thing I would say is keep your eye out for the humble bundles that they do often, because you can get all of the books for $10, $20 or less. So Pathfinder is Chester's first suggestion. Second is Heroes Unlimited from Paladin Books. Well suited to a modern setting, the magic weapon and or magically endowed hero types would probably be closest to what she wants. The Powers Unlimited 2 source book has ruled demigod and godling characters. Material from their Beyond the Supernatural, Nightbane, and Rifts game might also be useful. Their books are printed in softcover, making them about half the price of the usual hardcover books. Many are available in PDF through Drive-Thru RPG. Blah, 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 blah. So there you go. Thank you, Chester, for that. And look, that's what I mean. You guys are the best. So we have GURPS, we have Fate, we have the Scion, we have the Pathfinder with the Mythics, and so many other suggestions you guys have sent my way. Thank you so much. And this is why I know that you are the greatest listeners in the world. Now, here's a request this week. Head over to patreon.com/major spoilers. We really are basically funded by listener support from awesome people from around the world. And this weekend, what I would like for you to do, if you're not currently a Patreon member, head over to patreon.com/major spoilers. Check us out and sign up for a $2 level or a $5 level. Most, if we look at the average for our Patreon base, it's $7, which is really good. And I would think that $2 a month would be fairly easy. We are not funded by a major corporation. We're not funded by a movie studio. We are independent podcasters, and we don't need to let the big corps win, do we? No. So head over to patreon.com/major spoilers and sign up this weekend. I would really appreciate it. It'll allow us to do so many more things. It would be awesome if all of you signed up for a minimum of $2 a month, because if every single one of our listeners signed up for a minimum of $2 a month this weekend, which I know that you guys can make it happen, we would blow through every single goal that we have set up. Can you guys do that? Can you make it happen? Can you get us to our final goal on the list? All it would take is every single person listening to this show right now to head over to patreon.com/major spoilers and sign up for the minimum $2 level. But I know many of you want to get free t-shirts and free artwork and a bunch of other stuff, and you might want to kick it up to maybe the $5 level or 10 or higher. Patreon.com/major spoilers. Go do it this weekend, everybody. Show the corporations and the movie industries around the world that, hey, even the indie podcasters have a huge fan base and have a lot of power behind them. Patreon.com/major spoilers. Now, I know a lot of you. This is the other thing why I know a lot of you are super awesome, because at the end of was it last week's episode? Yes. #critical hit. OMG. I can't believe that just happened. #critical hit. You guys did that too. And everyone was asking, what's going on? Why is this suddenly blowing up? You guys are really cool. And if you thought OMG last week was really awesome, this week's episode, OMG, I can't believe that happened again. #critical hit. #critical hit. OMG. #critical hit. Welcome to Critical Hit, a Major Spoilers podcast. Thank you so much for downloading and sharing this episode with a friend. Holy cow. Last week gave me the chills, gave me nightmares, had me wake up in the middle of the night. Oh, no, I had a dream about our Mr. Palmer. Right, Palmer?
Which,
Palmer's
well,
the
there's a
good
Palmer
guy.
and a Miller. I'm not sure who you have.
Oh, Miller. Mr. Miller.
Palmer, no?
Oh, my gosh.
We're the Millers.
Oh, my gosh. No, literally. I had a dream where
Remember that Palmer's the good guy because he's related to Ray.
Right. Yeah, Miller. He came at me with those things coming out of his arms. Oh, I was scared, Sam.
I'm so proud.
I think a lot of other people are scared too.
Good.
Brian doesn't want to admit it, but the entire way home, he was just like, I don't want to go outside. Can you turn the lights on bright so I can make it to my door? All right, Brian.
That's
the
not
best
how
part of
Brian
recording from home. I don't have to do that.
Can't sleep. Railroad magnates will eat me.
Yes, and for more on that, might I point you to Once Upon a Time in the West. Sam, let us get back into the adventure this week. The party is over, and now it's time for the after party.
So yeah, last time
On Critical Hit.
there was a party.
Yay.
I believe when we left you all off, where was everyone individually?
I was at Mr. Palmer's house watching out for his wife in case something went down. And Palmer did say that he wanted to talk to us afterwards.
I think I was speaking with Alder.
Oh yeah, I think the three of you, Alder, and Chema had all left together, if I'm not mistaken.
No,
Because-
Eshen was on Palmer.
Yep.
Like he
Mhm.
was
Oh,
Palmer's
sure.
muscle.
Yeah.
So Alder and I were leaving. I don't know if then Eshen decided to leave anyway with us or not, but that's what I understood.
Oh, no, Eshen was given a task.
Fair
Okay.
enough. And then August.
Yeah, I think I was just milling at the party. I assume once I see all the rest of them leaving, I'll try to make my own graceful exit soon after. Hopefully not too noticeably soon after, but yeah, shortly there.
Cool. Yeah, you are able to make a quick either bluff or diplomacy check, your choice.
Let's see. Going with bluff for 14.
Okay. The Miller does, like, as you start saying your goodbyes, he's like, leaving so soon.
Yeah. I think I've had not too much to drink, but maybe best I leave before there. I've really enjoyed our time. I'm again really looking forward to our future business ventures. I think I'm gonna leave now while the leaving is probably the best time for me.
Well, I respect that, although I do know that as soon as you leave a party, it tends to get a little bit less.
Yeah, I understand. I do apologize for that. Again, I don't want to make things too exciting here, but
no, of course. Yes, we'll be in touch.
Absolutely, yes. Thank you for having me, and I look forward to the next one.
So you guys make your exits. And yeah, as we'll say that Palmer sees Alder leave and not come back in, and nods to Eshin and says, I think it's time for us to go.
Okay.
And so yeah, you start heading towards Palmer's house. Where are Alder and Chema headed? Crap.
I think we were gonna go to his office.
And then Palmer will start heading towards his home. And then where are you heading, August?
I figure I'll go back to my home, suit up, slip out, and see where I can find any of these guys at.
Cool. Then we will start at Alder. Actually, we'll start at Alder's office. What are you guys doing?
Well, he was clearly troubled, so I have a special tincture for him. It's made of star anise, and it's elderflower and licorice, bright red.
And what is
Is it like a tea?
Something like that, yes. My mother's people have a word for it. It is called sambuca.
Oh, I see. I drink it.
Do you want to make a profession herbalist check for me?
Shall I?
Sure.
All right. Do-do-do-do-do-do. I do-doodly-do. I don't remember my bonus for. Hang on. I've just updated my character sheet, which means that some of my bonuses are not what I remember. Checking my profession, herbalist, it says I have a +8 bonus. I'm going to use that at this time.
Hey,
Sweet.
congratulations there, Mr. Roll-A-One.
With my +8, I have a 9. I
nice.
may have botched this tincture just a tiny bit.
Yeah. So this Chema tastes terrible and just makes your nausea worse.
Oh, that's great.
Happy to be of service. The peppermint is supposed to be going to the stomach. Wait, that's not the star anise at all. I'm sorry. That probably doesn't taste very good.
Oh, I think it's going to make me feel better. I just need to step outside for a second, and then I'll just puke my guts out and probably feel better afterwards.
Yeah, I mean, you feel better from that, and you definitely feel that being outside of Miller's presence was an improvement, but you still feel shaky.
I'll come back in. Would you mind maybe making me something more traditional, chamomile or something like that?
That I can do. Yes, I actually have some chamomile made that I had given part of to the doctor, if I'm not mistaken. Here we are. Here we are. Shall I roll again and see if I botch this one too?
No, I can. I'll let you have it for the chamomile.
Okay. That's
As I was
just
going to say,
hurtful.
I have another character ready to go.
And then Shemo was poisoned by bad tea.
Yep.
Put in just a little bit of the chamomile and some kerosene and a little bit of this ethylene glycol. The silver is referred to as argent. Some also call it the quicksilver.
I mean, I think
No,
chamomile
that's
tastes
not
like
true.
nail polish remover to begin with, but that's just me.
Here we are. Chamomile tea. No quicksilver, I promise.
I drink that.
All right. That is somewhat soothing. Makes you feel a little sleepy.
What has you so upset?
It's just something I wasn't expecting. You know, Mexicans are obsessed with the devil. There's all kinds of stories. Everybody meets the devil. Thieves, martyrs, virgins. There's even at Christmas time they do these little plays where a bunch of hilariously stupid shepherds are trying to get to see Jesus being born, and the devil is trying to stop them. So, growing up, I always thought to myself, how would I react if I ever met the devil? And apparently it was to void the contents of my stomach.
I'm sorry, I didn't realize. I must have entirely missed the devil at that party.
Well, I don't think he is the actual devil, but for our purposes, he is close enough. This Miller guy, he is evil on a scale that I was not aware of. In better news, I suppose, there's an ability that people with my training are supposed to be able to have, and I had never known if I managed to manifest it or not, but apparently I do.
Which could be helpful. Did we learn anything of your statue, or anything of the missing woman? I'm afraid I didn't find any information much of use.
No, but I assume that Miller is at the center of all of this. Aside from my own issues, we learned two valuable things that, as far as I'm concerned. One, there is a strong supernatural presence at work here. And two, it is both powerful and arrogant enough to tip its hand and let us see it. So it might be right. We may pose no threat to him, but at the very least, we have gained a lot of information.
This is true. And we, I think, have a clear answer for how his chief engineer ended up as an angry, marauding spirit in a junkyard.
You'd know this, actually. It was not Miller's chief engineer, but Palmer's engineer that was in the junkyard.
Oh, I totally meant that. How his opponent's chief engineer.
Yes, it makes a lot of sense that so much of Palmer's crew has been caught up in this, because the Greenwoods were working for Palmer as well, I believe. Right?
Yeah, Greenwood is the engineer. Greenwood's wife is still among the missing, and he was Palmer's chief engineer.
Correct.
Okay.
Yes, okay.
Just making sure we have it all straight.
Yes, because I was afraid I had confused the listeners. Hello, future people.
Yep. So it seems impossible that an artifact of the magnitude of the one that I am seeking is somewhere in the area, and this creature does not know. So even if he was not the one to bring it here, he is almost certainly on its trail or in possession of it now.
Mm-hmm.
In any case, this is what I am doing now. We can continue searching for this artifact, but this creature poses somewhat of an existential threat.
I would agree. The model, Sam,
Mm-hmm.
did it correspond to the areas that are blighted as closely as my brain wants to think, or am I conflating two pieces of information?
So you actually failed your knowledge nature check, so you're not very clear on where exactly that model was going. But it seemed to actually be heading northeast, whereas the blight seems to be going south. So, and I think Palmer even said that that model was heading towards, it's for his railroad that's going to connect to West Virginia. So that's pretty far from where the blight is, which is still in Texas.
Okay. Wait, northeast of Texas?
Yes.
So where do you think we should go from here?
Well, Palmer wanted to talk to us. I think he is aware of Miller's movements, at least as an industrialist, which will be helpful. Sam, did I get the sense that he wanted to talk to us right away, or is this like wait till morning kind of thing?
Make a sense motive.
Okay.
Roll a 1, we can go see him anytime.
Yeah. Where's my sense motive?
I'm like 3 episodes deep in missing all of the important information, so we can go visit him at 2:30 in the morning.
21.
Yeah, you think sooner, probably, rather than waiting until the morning.
Okay. So, just definitely speaking with Palmer, probably as soon as I finish this cup. And the other thing is we should really try to figure out a way to get a hold of the hanging judge. He is going to want to know what has happened.
Do we have a way to do that? Do we have a way to do that? Out of character.
He gave you any way to, hanging judge signal you could send up. So
yeah.
Are there? That'll be easy. I get a gavel and a torch, and I try not to light one on fire with the other.
You just have to pull out a guitar and play his theme song.
Out of the night when the full moon is bright. Do I know anything? I'm a native of the city. The hanging judge is in and about the city. Would I know any rumors or any ways that people say, whispered in the back streets, if you want to contact the hanging judge, all you have to do is say something in front of August Weskerly and it magically happens?
Say, aren't you that guy that's always taking pictures of Spider-Man?
You can make a knowledge local check.
Knowledge local. Do I have a bonus for knowledge local? That's a big negatory. All right. If I roll another 1, I'm hanging up my dice and I'm going to go be a stripper. Oh, I rolled a 10.
I mean, he just has the ability to he seems to be very well informed and always know where there's trouble, but there's no particular, Commissioner Gordon for him.
So go make trouble.
Well, the judge has a way of finding his way into trouble. Theoretically, if Miller is as dangerous as he seems to be, one presumes that the ruckus should bring the judge. And the long answer short, I have no idea how to contact him. But I
Well, that
think
is
we should
fine.
go.
I don't either. We can wait for him to contact us.
We should probably consider asking him if there's a way to contact him, which, to be frank, we probably should have thought of before we split the first time. These are such strange times.
I am honestly not used to working with other people, so it did not occur to me.
Well, I'm sort of the same way. I have a problem. The doctor is wonderful, and she's very tolerant of, say, if I disappear for 5 days with a band of new fellows in the city. But yes, not really a joiner by nature. So let me take a moment and refill and make sure that I have everything that I might need in case of situations, and we can go and visit Mr. Palmer.
Sounds good.
Alder begins futzing around and filling up his pouches and bits of things and pods and seeds and flowers and something that looks remarkably like a mole.
Cool. Except for the mole, that's weird.
Well, sometimes you need a mole.
Like an animal mole, or like?
Aha!
What?
Why not both?
I mean,
Well,
what? I mean, you can describe chives that way.
It's true. It's a mandrake root. It actually looks like a little naked mole.
Like a little baby mole monster.
Just all curled up, going.
Okay.
With but this one is clearly a plant. Or is it? Yes, it is. So.
What is it?
Yes, I just said it was. Pay attention,
You just
Mitch.
disappointed me.
It happens.
It's okay. He hasn't learned that spell yet.
A guy that big, you think he can fit in your pajamas? Think before you ask these questions. All right, Alder is packed.
Okay. Let me go by my room and pick up my gear. I'll just, because like his office is pretty close to the inn, right?
Palmer's office, yeah.
No.
Alder's office. Yes, sorry.
Okay.
And I believe I live at the inn.
Yes, you do.
Yes.
But-
So yeah, I'll just run over, get my basically change out of my civvies.
Your cool suit.
And into my traveling clothes and gun, and then
your duster and boots and
bandana
and
gun.
Mostly gun.
And no hat.
Mostly gun.
Shema doesn't wear a hat, but he carries a gun.
He does.
Cool.
Have gun, will travel.
And then we head over.
All right.
Then let's go to is Russell doing anything in particular while you're waiting at Palmer's home?
Basically, I'm just watching the front and back doors and pacing between those two throughout the night until Mr. Palmer gets home.
Okay. And then Chema, you're walking home with Mr. Palmer?
Eshin is, I think.
Or Eshin, sorry, that's what I meant.
Yeah.
Anything of note while you walk?
No.
Okay.
Make sure that we're not being followed. Do my job.
Cool.
Basically.
Make a perception check.
Okay. Woo! 25.
Nice.
At least someone can roll above 10.
So you don't see anyone you think following you, though you do see a snowy egret, which is unusual because this is a little far north for egrets, and it's nighttime, and they're not usually out at night.
That's weird. I will keep an eye on the bird. But still follow Mr. Palmer.
Okay. The bird seems out of sorts a bit, you would say? Like maybe it's lost.
Go home, Egret, you're drunk.
Clearly, somebody's sending their
It would be a
egrets.
problem if I went to eat the bird.
In front of Palmer, at least.
Yes.
All right. So, and then the vigilante, sometimes known as August Westerly and sometimes known as the Hanging Judge, you're going and suiting up.
Yes.
And then where are you heading?
Trying to think if my first inclination would be to go to Alders, or did they ride to the party, or?
No, they just walked.
They walked. Okay. Darn. So looking 4 horses wouldn't do anything.
Yeah, I gotta say, I was actually really expecting for Brian to just declare that he was gonna like jump through the window when we started talking about the hanging judge.
I considered it. Then I'd have to get him a new window. And I don't know. Where would trying to?
I mean, we probably haven't gotten very far from it. So.
That's true.
Just
if you
follow the
wanted
footsteps.
if you wanted to catch us on the way there, I'm sure it wouldn't be a big deal. It's obviously up to Sam, but
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, if that's I'll do that. I'll just say that then.
Cool. Then yeah, as you guys are walking towards Palmer's home, you spot the Hanging Judge.
See, I told you. When trouble is around, he finds his way here.
oh, that's good.
Trying to
Judge,
salute.
Judge over here.
Yes, Alder.
It's me, Alder.
Yes. I
And
will.
Gemma.
Hi. What is going on tonight?
We're on our way to go and visit Mr. Palmer. There is apparently some pressing business type information thing, I believe.
What manner of business?
Miller is some sort of undead monster.
Is he?
Yes,
He hides it quite well.
It is a similar thing from the ghosts we encountered. I believe Russell saw it as well.
Well, he does seem to be some manner of authority in those regards, apparently.
Mm.
If our experiences have shown anything. Very well.
So, we are on our way to Palmer's house because I think he has some information on Miller's movements, at the very least in a mundane sort of way.
Okay, I guess I will join you, unless he should object too much. We will see what information he has to share.
Perhaps with the current climate, we should stay to the shadows.
Possibly.
As there are those who seem to be blaming you for the actions of the others.
That does tend to happen.
It seems difficult. Have you considered not wearing the mask? People might, have less trust issues if they knew that you had a
Then-
face under there.
Wouldn't they just throw him in jail then? I mean,
Indeed.
he is actually breaking the law by running around and punching people without a badge.
This is too complicated. Very, very complicated.
Yes. Quite.
So yeah, we'll stick to the shadows a little bit more.
Okay.
Sounds good. Make stealth checks.
Okay.
We'll be as sneaky as we can. Alder is still wearing his ugly multicolored
something I got
going out
fairly
coat.
well.
Stealth. Ooh, I have a plus to stealth.
Oh, of course. Of
That's
course.
Dex.
You do stand out.
I shouldn't, though.
He got a botch, and I still rolled lower. I don't even know how that works.
Yeah, Chema's feeling better.
Yeah. So
Chema's hiding
like,
behind the judge.
I was
has,
wondering if anybody would get above a 10 besides
We all got above a 10.
on the die.
So Chema is able to like stick to the shadows. He's walked the town a few times and knows it pretty well. And so he sees as these two are walking and like trying to be sneaky. The guy in like a tall, broad-shouldered guy with like a sheriff star on his vest and boots walking down the street who's about to bump into these guys.
Apparently we're not as sneaky
Are
as
we all like together, or did everybody just kind of scatter?
That's you guys' call.
I don't think that my instinct would be to scatter. But given the differences in numbers, you may have a different opinion on that.
If we're like, I assume that we weren't like darting from like barrel to trough to like.
Yeah, I assumed you guys were
alleyway.
just trying to like stick to alleyways as opposed to
Yeah.
the lit areas of town, and there just happens to be like the town sheriff seems to be like ducking down this alleyway himself.
Okay, so I will bump into him, like just walk right into him to cover for those guys.
Cool. So he jostles for a second and like looks down at you. Actually, how tall is Chema?
Chema is let's see, 1.8 meters.
So yeah, this guy's a bit taller than you. And he like looks down, and when you look up, he's actually got like a really pretty dramatic scar that looks like it was made with some kind of bladed weapon that goes from his chin to his right ear. He's like, he's like, who are you?
I'll like extend the hand. Oh, hello, I am Chema.
He extends a hand as well as like, Sheriff Walter Catton. And what are you doing skulking around?
Oh, I did not mean to skulk. I thought this was a shortcut.
Out of towner then?
Yes, I am here on business. There was a party that I was at, but now everything is breaking up. Everybody is going their own way. Apparently, there's a beautiful sky, so I was gonna meet some people outside of town to look at the sky.
Mm-hmm. He like sniffs for a second and like looks down at your. I guess you changed, so you don't have like any puke on you, but he does sniff at you. He's like, these parties will be the death of me. Fine, go on and.
I have to say, I was surprised they did not invite the sheriff. A very important part of the town.
I was invited, but someone actually has to be walking around and making sure that no one takes advantage of everyone in town with any money or power being in one place.
Oh, yes, that makes a lot of sense. I am sorry to have inconvenienced you. And now I will be on my way.
You want to make a bluff check there?
Yep. 24.
Oh, cool. You like nods and says, "All right, enjoy your sky gazing or whatever."
Thank you.
He walks off.
And hopefully during that time, these guys went in a different direction
Yes.
and weren't just like so completely enthralled with this conversation that he finds them anyway.
He's watching.
Sheriff
Well,
walks
let's-
by and the judge slinks down from the rooftop.
Let's see. Should I roll a sense? No, I think I probably figured that one out. Perhaps the judge and Alder should sneak away another direction.
Perhaps.
Oh, I think we are getting pretty close. This is not that big a town. We should just get straight, perhaps.
Yeah, and you guys are able to, Eshin, you and Palmer get there a little, basically around the same time, because you left the party a little later than these guys did, even though they spent some time messing around with things.
Okay.
So yeah, you converge at the Palmer house.
So I and Mr. Palmer show up at about the same time as the three amigos there.
Yep. So yeah, Palmer's house is nice. It's neat. Especially having just come from Miller's, it is like this is clearly the home of someone with money, but it's much, much less ostentatious. Tends to very simple wooden furniture. Actually, Russell would recognize this is fine work. But nothing too ornamented or anything like that. There are some art of various forms. A lot of it is pretty standard. There's, a painting of a meeting house in Pennsylvania. There's a photograph of him at the opening of his railroad line. There's a portrait of him and his wife and his daughter. But there's also a picture that stands out a bit because it's in a very different style, which is a Chinese style painting of a bearded man. He's dressed in not actually unsimilar to what you are wearing. It's a traditional uniform of a Chinese civil servant, and he's being attacked by demons.
Okay. So when they get there, I open the door. Oh,
Cool. Palmer just walks in.
Well, the door was locked, so I'm.
Oh, the door was locked. Then he's got keys.
Yeah,
but he'll start opening the door.
Mr. Palmer, thanks. Glad you made it back safely. I trust there were no problems.
Not for me, I think.
Okay. Your wife retired upstairs.
All right. He looks to the assembled group and says, I'll explain what I can. Let me check on my wife. He goes upstairs.
Oh, Mr. Hanging the Judge.
Hello.
It's interesting that you found your way with everyone else.
Oh yeah, for what it's worth, Palmer did not seem surprised to see the hanging judge.
Oh, okay.
I'll walk in and on the way, pat Russell's shoulder. You holding up okay?
Yes, there were no problems.
That's
good.
good.
Little shaken by what I saw, but fine nonetheless.
Yes. I was also affected by it.
It was quite terrifying. I'd never seen anything like that.
Well, from what he just said, I'm feeling Palmer knows more than we expected.
Yes, indeed.
And as you were saying that, you hear a raised voice from upstairs saying, honey? Mary?
Let's go.
Yeah.
Yep, we all rush upstairs, pushing
Right.
Alder to the front.
And
Yes.
Palmer is standing over his wife. He's holding her up, and she seems unresponsive. And he turns to Alder and says, "Go fetch the doctor."
Alder races to fetch the doctor.
I'll like pull back my sleeves and may I?
You're whatever can help.
I don't understand. Said she was fine.
You want to make a heal check?
Just go through just the standard stuff: pulse, glands, breathing, all that stuff.
Okay.
21.
Well, it's the
Nice.
first thing you check. You go to check her pulse, and it is incredibly erratic. Something is wrong with her heart.
Do I sense anything?
Nope.
Let's see. I am going to like is she breathing? Is she like not breathing?
She's breathing, but shallowly and
Right.
erratically.
Does it look like she doesn't look like she was like struck or anything?
No, you think whatever. There's no physical wound on her. You think that this was internal. So yeah, to put it in modern parlance, which unfortunately they didn't have the word for at the time. You think that she's had a heart attack.
Mm-hmm.
But I think Chema would probably think of something more along those lines of like arrhythmia.
Right.
The vapors.
I will put a hand on her belly and see if I detect movement from the baby.
Yep, the baby is still moving, and
Okay.
you know that this is certainly not good for a pregnant woman, but
Yep.
there's unfortunately not much.
Yeah, well, if it's a hard condition, we probably have time.
Yeah,
if it's not like poison or anything like that.
yeah.
I run out of the room and get a cloth and some water to cool her down to put on her head.
Cool. Then Palmer is just kind of like holding her hand and like whispering and praying over her.
How long will it take me to sprint at the speed of sound across the street?
Well, you can sprint at the speed of a strapping young half-elf and not the speed of sound, but it doesn't take you too long because it's not that long. And Dawn is just running ahead of you the entire time, yipping.
Yeah, she understands. Dawn actually has the word for heart attack. Unfortunately, in her language, it's
Arf, arf, Bingway, arf, arf, arf.
myocardial infarction.
Oh,
Arf.
man, she can howl it. She can be like a little ambulance.
Or for our British friends, I apologize if you're wearing headphones right now. Can I find the doctor?
You get back to your office and actually, are you heading to the office or to her home?
I presume at this hour she's going to be at home.
Yeah, or to the party for that matter, because you're heading towards her home?
Yes.
Okay. So that's a little bit further, though not far from her office. And she greets you at the door. She's still actually dressed from the party in like a nice, if somewhat formal dress, and is like, "Oh, have you come to apologize for leaving early and not saying goodbye?"
No, there's something wrong with Mrs. Palmer. We need to go immediately.
Let me get my bag. She runs and grabs a doctor's kit.
Ooh. Little leather bag. Metal bits sticking out of it. Those are cool. Can she run, do you think?
I mean, she's a older woman.
Frontier doctor. She's probably...
But yeah, she seems in pretty fine shape for it. And you
I
know,
was going to ask you how old is older, but I realize I'm like 15 years older than
Yeah,
than
you think she's-
and I don't want to know that
she's
answer.
ancient, and she's got Civil War stories, which makes her super ancient. So
She's like 42 or something.
yeah, she's like, and to be fair, that's kind of old for this time period. But
It's true. Yeah, and in 1880, 42 is like 150 in dog years. Okay.
but yeah,
What?
she hustles with you.
We are returning.
And
With-
you actually, as you start running, come across the sheriff as well, who's like, "What's going on?" And she says, "Mrs. Palmer's sick." And he says, "Anything you need?" And she's like, "Not unless you got a medical degree last I checked." He like rolls his eyes and moves on.
Sassy.
I like her so much. She's so mean to people and so nice to me. It's just wonderful.
That's the dream.
Yeah.
And so while that is happening, there's actually a window that's open in the room Mr. Palmer opens a window to try to like get some air in, and that white egret flies in.
Oh, this is bad.
This is not a good
going to
sign.
actually try and snatch it now.
So as you reach out, it spots you, lands, and opens its mouth, and in your aunt's voice very clearly says, "You need to come home immediately. Your father is missing. Bring whatever help you can."
Oh. I assume this is also in Khaleesi.
Yes, it is in Calician. And yeah, anyways who has spellcraft can make a check. Or knowledge nature actually can also make a check.
I mean, I do, but
Fair enough.
I have both, but I'm not
magic
there.
bird.
All right. Will do.
Is that bird talking to you?
Message from my aunt. My father is missing. I need to go with as much help as I can muster.
Oh, bad news then.
Yeah.
By the
Yeah.
way, I've been helping the situation as much as possible. So gotten some water, there's a doctor, but he's like trained to probably like prep soldiers and like people for a doctor. So, he's gonna get everything as ready as possible for when the doctor arrives.
Cool. Yeah, checking her, you're not sure what caused this, and there doesn't seem to, again, be any type of particular physical trauma on her, but she is in, you'd say, like, critical but stable condition.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, you can try to you want to elevate her, her head, and also keep her legs spread so she gets best circulation as possible. And then keep her temperature consistent.
I'll also just straight up cast resistance on her.
Cool. And yeah, some time passes, and Dr. Barton shows up and says, she just throws open the door and starts and is like, where is she?
She's on the floor.
And she stomps up and is like, this is quite the crew. All right, anyone who's not me or Alder, get out.
Yes, ma'am.
Help usher Mr. Palmer out of the door.
Are you the hanging judge? Never mind. Doesn't
Yes,
matter. Patient on the table. And turns to Mrs. Palmer and starts barking orders at Alder to get things out of her bag and, take her pulse and things like that. She's got a stethoscope that she busts out and is asking you to like record notes and things.
Okay.
I searched the house,
Cool.
and I'll tell the guys I'm gonna have a look around. I want to make sure that no one else is here that is not supposed to.
Well, no one entered after we got home, at least not on the first floor.
Yes. Well, with what we are dealing with, it is better to check.
True. I'll assist.
Yeah, I was going to say as well.
In a quiet manner, if
Sure.
that's okay with Palmer.
He seems very distracted. So, perception checks.
19.
Mine was 15.
14.
17.
Yeah, you don't see any sense that there's like some would say hiding or
Lurking
you know
about.
anything that like is obviously out of place. Though you do, when you're kind of throwing open doors, like you find his bedroom, which is again like very simple, decorated but nice, and you find what looks like a little home office, which actually has a shrine set up in it, which is there's obviously like there's a cross, but then there's also another portrait of that Chinese civil servant guy that you saw in the living room. And it's even there's like a few things that look actually kind of Taoist here.
Okay.
Can I make a religion check here? See if I know any of this stuff.
Yep, go ahead.
I want to say that's the number for this.
666.
I wish I had a 666 to knowledge religion.
Not in Taoism. The square root of 17.
Oh, it is 666 in Taoism. It's just the sixes are all touching, so it goes around.
That's pretty good. So you're not super familiar with Taoism, but you would guess that that man in the picture might be some form of ghost from the way he's portrayed, either like a ghost or an exorcist or something. Like those demons are actually not meant to be demons, but meant to be evil spirits. And you think that the portrait there is an embodiment of someone who would fight evil spirits. And actually, because of your unique perspective, like a symbol of a secret society when you see one.
Right.
Dun, dun,
And like this is
dun.
clearly something along those lines.
Right. I was suspecting. Definitely, it's like, here's some familiar iconography with something weird on top. It's like, yep, that makes sense. But I'll keep searching the house.
Cool. Yeah, you do not find anything else of note or
So any sign that someone has been there if we don't find somebody specifically?
So yeah, let me take a quick look at your perception checks again. So yeah, Chema and Russell think that it's possible, like now that you're looking more closely around her room, like you're looking at Palmer himself, there are footprints in here, like on the carpet. They're light. Whoever was here had a light step. But you think that the feet are a little bit not the same shoe type, or maybe like the person was either like taller or a little heavier. It's really kind of hard to say, but they don't match the footprints that Palmer is leaving on the carpet.
I point him out to Chema.
Does it seem like somebody had been here, like just now? Like, how fast do these footprints fade from the carpet?
So it's so weird. Like, not right just now, and like certainly not since you've been here. Like, you think that someone was here, and they don't go anywhere outside of the room.
That's weird. Spirits, probably.
Do you have knowledge religion, Stephen?
No, I don't.
Okay.
Everything's spirits.
Everything's spirits to wrestle.
Spirits, yeah.
Fair enough.
What'd you have for lunch today? Spirits.
So you got drunk.
That's actually true.
So the footprints appear to be of someone heavy,
but not too heavy.
And they only appear to be around the room and then disappear.
Correct. And speaking of so the egret, Eshin says okay, and then it like pauses as if waiting for something and opens its mouth again, and the again your aunt's voice comes through and says, "It's too risky for you to come home. You need to go directly to the source of the problem."
I think we found the source up here.
There's again like a pause. It's like, no.
Yeah, she means a hag.
Yeah. Rob knows that. Eshin's not that.
Oh.
A lot of that going around lately.
Nah, my character is way smarter than me.
That's true. I have the opposite problem. My character is way smarter than you, but no, wait.
So yeah, there's another pause, and it says, "The war party went to face the hag. Go there."
Oh. Yes, Aunt.
And the the egret spreads its wings and goes to fly towards the window and drops dead.
That's not good.
This is not in the surgical suite, is it?
Oh no, this is in the surgical. Like it's so he like walked. No, this is in the surgical suite because I just don't think Eshin would have left, and that's where the bird flew in. And as if like noticing it for the first time, she's like, "Why is there a bird in here? And who are you? Get out, both of you, and get the dead bird out of here."
Okay. I'll pick up the bird.
Your aunt added a little thing at the end of the spell to get you lunch.
Yeah, when you pick the bird up, it is severely affected by the blight.
Gross.
That's one dead bird.
Get it out of the house, Eshin.
Okay. I'll kind of toss it out the front door.
Nice.
Gotta open the door first, Eshin.
I wouldn't be that sassy to Eshin. If you want the door to be there.
So yeah, after I'd say around while this is happening, the Dr. Barton looks over at Alder and is like, "I think I've done all I can for now. She's gonna need rest. There's unfortunately not much I can do. Baby seems okay, though this might make her give birth prematurely."
Do we know what's wrong?
Something with her heart. Not certain. Probably shouldn't have been at that party. Too much excitement, I think.
That is a shame. Do we know how far along she is? That's an out of character question, by the way.
She is quite pregnant. You would say that she's probably, like if she gave birth soon, it probably wouldn't be the end of the world for the baby.
She's been pregnant for like 2 years now. It's a thing. It just goes on and on. Okay.
So yeah, she'll pack up her bag and
Oh.
write basically a list of instructions for Palmer. So yeah, she writes basically a prescription for bed rest and tea and fluids and things like that, and asks Alder to come back the next day with some of the materials for that, and said she'll be back as well to check in on her.
I can certainly do that. How does she seem? Is she stable?
She seems stable. She's not conscious.
Well, we're certainly sorry for this, Mr. Palmer.
He glares at Eshin. Who was on her duty? That was you, right? Yeah, he glares at you flat, like it's like you let him touch her.
Yes, I'm sorry, sir. What do you know of him? Because the Miller that I saw was not a normal human.
I was wondering if you would see that. I've long suspected something was amiss with Miller, but I don't have any ways of identifying such things myself. He's very well protected and connected.
Who protects him? I didn't see any open guards there.
Oh, they were there. I would wager that everyone he was employing there was capable in a fight.
Yes, I concur.
Do you know what he is?
I have speculation.
And what might that be?
A Jiangxi.
Do I know what that is?
Do you have knowledge religion?
Nope.
Yep. And no.
And what would that be?
The, I suppose, translation would be vampire.
Ah, okay.
What's that?
A person who has had all good parts of their spirit die and feeds on the life of the living.
Have any of you ever...
So it's unnatural and we should deal with it.
Yes. I had an agent of ours who was investigating reports of that, this has all gone terribly wrong.
Who might be your agent?
He looks at you. He's like, I have, on that point, been sworn to secrecy multiple times.
Well, sir, I should probably tell you that when we were in what was the
Los Brazos?
Yep, Los Brazos, we ran into Greenwood. And Mr. Greenwood was dead, and something was controlling his spirit inside of a monster.
It's worse than I thought.
And Mrs. Greenwood is missing.
That was supposed to be me. He went to Mexico to seek the blessing of, looks at Chema, your church, for the railroad spike that will mark the beginning of my project. I also had it blessed by a Quaker elder in Pennsylvania. My goal was to use the power of the two faiths and two countries to consecrate the land, and keep all who travel it free of danger from malevolent spirits.
So you sent someone there to consecrate it, and if my timeline checks out, right about the same time, something was stolen from us. Did you think that maybe you had a double agent?
No, Greenwood was loyal. Moira, though, I suspected there was something off about her. I honestly thought she just... I don't know, I couldn't... Her background didn't quite check out. She'd been on a caravan coming here that was ambushed by the Renfields. She was one of the only survivors. She said that her family had been killed on the trip, and Greenwood just happened to be in the area. He helped fight the Renfields off. I hadn't thought it through too much. I didn't want to hurt him. He loved her, and that story made him feel like a hero again.
Well, until we find her, she is certainly not above suspicion.
So the rumors are true then. I'd heard rumors that the Catholic Church in Mexico had a group that dealt with such things. I was hoping we could establish relationships between them and my order.
And I'm sure they would be glad to do it. I am an experiment of sorts. I don't work directly for them, but let's just say we owe them some favors.
That's good. I think we're going to need all the help I can get.
So, since we are putting as many cards as we are allowed by our respective organizations on the table, you should know a couple other things. One, that Eshen also has a big stake on what has been happening here. His people are dealing with this blight, which I believe is caused by the artifact I am seeking. And your rival seems to be right in the middle of all of this.
Your people, what tribe are you from?
Show him mission.
Okay. Take off my hat.
He stands back. It's like, I again only heard rumors of the Saurians. Wasn't sure if they existed.
We Kalesi do exist. And until recently, your people hadn't really disturbed us.
What brought you here then?
My land is being blighted. The swamps south of here are being destroyed partially by hags, partially by you people.
Me people?
Industry?
The new Humes.
Los Brazos. I'm afraid that this is part of what this is about. Why Miller is doing this. We have a disagreement on the fate of that place. My railroad will render it obsolete, whereas he has allies there.
He's obviously got more than allies. He's got undead working for him.
Russell, could you go upstairs and check on my wife?
Certainly. I go upstairs.
He waits, looks at Chema, actually. It's like, he sees ghosts.
Yes. I believe he actually was dead for some time, but that is just a theory. He doesn't really know.
No, that is likely the case. He, again, I swore specifically I'd keep him out of this, but I brought him here for a reason.
Yes,
It wasn't just to build a temple.
Your personal feelings aside, you should not keep Russell out of this. He is an excellent resource, both in his ability to perceive the infra world and also, have you ever seen him in a fight?
I've heard stories of his bar brawls.
Oh yes, I saw him cave in a zombie skull just by punching it, and it did not affect his hands at all. They are fine.
I wasn't the one that wanted to keep him out of this. All right then. I'll wait for him to come back. I suppose I owe you my story.
Oh. Well, thank you.
I come back downstairs. Your wife is resting fine, sir.
Good.
Well, why is everyone staring at me?
Well, we're actually going to wait on the situation that the party was in and go somewhere else. So, as the last of the party guests leave Miller Manor, Arthur Wilson and his assistant Miriam linger. Wilson clutches a paper in his hand, which he waves accusingly at the railroad baron. Your telegraph operator gave me this. The warehouse you rented burned down with all the workers and product inside. My portmaster also says a federale was snooping around. Miller cuts him off with a wave of his hand. I'm aware of the situation, Mr. Wilson. You'll be properly compensated for your losses. Still not satisfied, the owner of Los Brazos de Santiago looks down at the diorama at the center of the mansion's great room. Are you sure you know what you're doing? I mean, I won't claim to understand this project of yours, but is now really a good time to build a new railroad? Don't you already have enough track? It's never enough, Miller shouts, slamming his fist on the oak table, the impact knocking over a model forest. Now leave us. As her boss runs out the door, Miriam looks up with a smile, her fingers idly tracing the lines of the table, leaving little patterns in the seamless wood. Miller swats at her hand while gesturing to one of his servants standing guard in front of the doors to his new guest room. I've been told the carpenter was very curious about your work. It's an impressive gift, if a bit ostentatious. You have what you need to take care of the phase spawn and the saurian? It'll be my pleasure, she coos. And did you get what you need? The lawman won't back down, so I'm afraid I'll have to kill him. Unsurprising, but still such a waste. I'm certain the hanging judge was here, but none of my magics could detect him. I wonder if he's even aware of his power. I'll just have to count on catching him with the others. And the carpenter. He trails off, looking to the pale woman and being led out of the guest room, her new prison. Could you sense him? The medium fights to resist answering, but it is as useless as her struggle to call for help during the party, or when she had heard voices on the roof earlier in the day. Yes, master. Miller grins cruelly and turns to the creature currently calling herself Miriam. It's time for you to take our guest back to your swamp and finish spreading the aura. I'm seeing the peripheral effects, but it hasn't reached the new test subjects. Medium, how long do you think it will take? He asks, turning to his gaze back to his captive. I don't know, master. The second batch is promising, but I know I can do better. It's just... She pauses, grimacing in anticipation of his displeasure. The artifact is putting too great a strain on my powers. If I keep using it like this, I will die. Miller only laughs. Well, you best work quickly then. After all, it seems your talent isn't as rare as I'd thought.
Oh, that sounds like a great place to end this week's episode. Thanks so much, everyone, for checking us out. So glad you're enjoying our weird Western as we move through Pathfinder. If you have any questions, podcast at majorspoilers.com. I swear one of these days we will get to another mailbag episode. But until then, if you would like to help us out, head over to patreon.com/majorspoilers. Just check out and see what we have to offer for you. And if you want to see this show continue far into the future, and you think this episode's maybe worth $2 a month, $5 a month or more, find out more at patreon.com/majorspoilers. Until next time, take care, and here's hoping all of your dice rolls are critical hits.
This podcast is copyright 2017 by Major Spoilers Entertainment, LLC.